mean, for me, just to kind of ramble and change topics, I thought that I would go into this knowing. It's like, I know Hank Green, I know Easy Waiter, I've met John, I know Charles and Allie. I didn't expect, honestly, maybe this was naive of me, I didn't expect to learn anything. I'm like, I know YouTube really well. You know, like, I'm just going to go get their stories. I already know their stories, I'm going to go get them. And boy, was I wrong. I was really wrong. I mean, working on this has changed me. And, like, in way more many ways than one. And it's amazing to hear some of these stories. And I can't wait. I can't wait to share it with you guys. I really can't.
Yeah, continuing the film. Would you say that Hey, I'm Vlogging Here is vastly different from the other YouTube movie that came out? Please subscribe.
Yeah, we get that question a lot because there is already a couple YouTube documentaries. One's called Butterflies, which came out early. It came out in 2009. And then Dan Dobie made a documentary called Please Subscribe. Now, I've known Dan. I've known him for a couple of years, and him and I have chatted. And to be honest, I don't know if I actually told him this. I thought about telling him. I haven't. I've been sharing this with people. I intentionally have not watched Please Subscribe because I didn't want to get inspired or try to do something different that, you know, I tried to not even think about it. It's like, I'm making a documentary. But I did talk to a lot of people who've seen it. Shay has seen it. And it's just a very different thing from what I understand. From what I understand, I don't know if you guys have seen it, kind of nod or shake your head, but Please Subscribe seems to kind of be an inside look at some YouTubers' lives. Like, you kind of get to know Easy Waiter, and you get to know Jenna Marbles, and you get to know, Daily Grace. Ours is very different. Ours is a lot more historical. Like, ours starts in 2005 with Chad Hurley, the founder of YouTube, and Smosh, talking about, like, making the first video, telling it, like, in order and saying, this is what we did, and we had no money, and here's where YouTube contacted us. This is where, we got a house. And we talked to the people who invented the partnership program, people who work at YouTube, and a guy who now runs Fullscreen, George Strompolis. He invented the YouTube partnership program. And they talk about how that happened. And then we go through history, and we talk about November 2008 YouTube Live and how that came about, and how it was the first time YouTube put a show together with these YouTubers, and things started taking off. And we talk about the formation of networks, the station in 2009 and 10, how the station became Maker, the pros of networks, the cons of networks. That's why Maker's not making the movie, is we talk about what's great about all networks, and we talk about what's awful and what's leeching, and why networks are signing 20,000, 30,000 people and emailing some of you guys saying, hey, we know you have 200 subscribers, you should join our network, we're going to make you famous. And then you join and they like never email you back, ever. Hey, do our guerrilla campaigns, you'll make $3. And a lot of people have a lot of opinions on networks, and we're telling that. And we're telling, events like Blogger Fair. And we're telling, when a teenager goes and sees this movie and their parents go, the parent is kind of the target audience. But it's not surface level. It's not just like, here's the YouTubers, you should check them out. I mean, we really, it's your introduction. It's like YouTube 101, but then it gets deep. And you get to know more about all these guys than you. It's behind the scenes, and it's very candid, very honest.
All right, guys, we have time for one more question.
So you've got to visit a lot of places. So what is your favorite place that you've visited, not counting Seattle?
Not counting Seattle.
Because it wins, right?
Seattle wins. I mean, I've been a lot. We've been to a lot of places. I didn't get to do the touristy thing. Like I know this is like maybe rude or maybe douchey to say, but I'm traveling for work, and so when we go to Florida, we didn't do the cool Florida thing. Like, I didn't go to one beach in the 3 months that I was in Florida and California. One day for 1 hour, we went to the Redwoods National Forest in Northern California, only because that's where they shot Return of the Jedi. Like, that was like, I'm like, we are driving past it. We're going to stay in the city that the crew stayed in when they filmed this in 1982, and we're going to the Redwoods National Forest, and we're going to vlog because we're going to the forest moon of Endor, and we're not doing that, or I'm not making this movie. Not that we have contracts, but I would like put that in my contract, forest moon of Endor. And so that was really cool. I like California because it's very diverse. Like Northern California, Southern California, like you have everything in California. I don't know if I love LA. I mean, I'm there to make a movie. I don't want to live in LA. I don't want to do the LA thing. It's, But what's funny is I've gotten to see way more of America than I have of Canada. I think I've been to like 33 states, and I've been to like 3 provinces, which is a shame. Like I haven't seen my own country, and I really want to. I'm talking to, there's a travel company called Kentucky that we've worked with a bunch, and I've talked to them about like Apprentice A, just going to every province. But we need time to do that, and to be Apprentice A, we have to work. So we can't just not work, because then we would have no money, and then we would not be Apprentice A, because we would have to give up, right? So you gotta work always. I feel like I'm just working always. Chicago's great. Indianapolis was amazing because of John Green, but otherwise, Montana was cool. What was the drive that we did? The drive from Montana to Seattle. That's like
the windstorm and the
yeah, that was awesome.
That's cool.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
Philadelphia was fun, but I mean, traveling is, I don't think traveling is cool because of like the places. Traveling is cool because of the people.
Yeah.
LA's cool because people live there, and I like people. Like I like the people who live there. Like if you took out all of the people and you just like look at LA, it's like, oh, it's ugly and dirty. Where Seattle is actually not. Seattle is very beautiful. But if I was in Seattle and didn't know anybody, I'm not like cool enough or hipstery enough to like wander around by myself and find a cool thing to do. If you watch our vlogs, Rihanna could. Rihanna Finch could just like go anywhere and make 30 friends and just like find a museum just anywhere. I'm not like that. I spend all my time like looking at my phone. I'm like one of those people. Because I'm just like Twitter, Tumblr, Reddit. Thank you. But yeah, America's great.
Cool. All right, thank you very much, guys, for coming down and hanging out, and for coming to Vlogger Fair.
Was this the last one?
I think
this is the last one.
Are we? Where's Heather?
It's noon, dude. This thing's over at noon.
It's noon.
Yeah, it's noon. It's noon 02. I gotta leave. I gotta go.
Yeah, you gotta catch a plane. Guys, thank you so much for coming down to Vlogger Fair. Thank you very much to Chris Perillo. Is Chris Perillo here somewhere close by?
Chris Perillo, they're pointing. Chris, are you in the green room? Chris Perillo.
Is he around the corner?
Chris Perillo. He's around.
He's around. But anyway, I just want to thank everybody for coming out. I want to thank Chris for having me out. And Chris, if you see Chris on the way out, make sure you stop and thank him personally, because he's put a lot of time and effort into this whole thing. So, yeah.
We're done.
See you next year.
Vlogger Fair 2013, wrapping to a close. Until next year. So that was the end of Vlogger Fair 2013. I had agreed to go to Vlogger Fair when I found out about a situation up in Washington, dealing with my family. And it is because that's when Vlogger Fair happened. That was the time that it's going to go up. I wish I would have thought about it differently, because it turned out to be a choice between Vlogger Fair and VidCon. And it would have been nice if I was able to stay with my family for that 2 months between Vlogger Fair and VidCon, so that when VidCon happened, I'd just return to Fresno, try to get back into a place and get another job, which is risky, I admit. But there was a wrinkle throughout this whole thing. Halfway within that stay, about a month after Vlogger Fair happened, the first of the month, I was required to leave the premises due to rental agreements and policies that my family had made with the landlord. And I willingly went because there's no reason for me to think that I really had the right to stay there. But it's expensive trying to be homeless for a certain period of time. And so I decided to come back to Montana, pretty broke. What some call to be an assumption on my part, I call to be a risk. Always considering that something like this might happen. And so through it all, I was able to go to Vlogger there, but I had missed out on VidCon. And based on the intimate setting of Vlogger Fair, I don't know if that was actually such a bad decision.